Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube This Week in Football. Now, I do apologize, my mic might not be sounding that great, but I'm having issues with my main mic at this moment in time. But until I sort that out, we're gonna just soldier on and talk about this week in football. I'm here with Gary. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right.
Fantastic. So we had our usual smorgasbord of European football as well as Premier League football. So we're going to start off with the European football and most importantly, I guess, the Champions League. So let's have a look at some results, shall we? I'm sure you're pretty happy about this week when it comes to the Champions League, Gary. So we had the revenge match, Man United versus Villarreal. Ronaldo, once again, dying minutes of the game, scores the winner to give you guys a much needed 3 points, because if you didn't get the win in this game, you would have been bottom of your Champions League group, which would have been terrible for you guys. You know, what is it, a loss against Young Boys and then a draw against Villarreal at home? It wouldn't have been too good, but you needed that win and you got that win. So you must be quite happy about that, Gary.
Well, the way we played, we got absolutely hammered. We should have lost like 3-1 or 4-1, but due to Hay was on form and Ronaldo nits it at the end. So the results on the weekend for me, Benfica beating Barcelona 3-0. Now, Barcelona, I don't know what the hell's happened to them, but since their heyday, God almighty, have they gone downhill?
People keep going on about, since Messi's left, it just become shit. I mean, while Messi was there in this last couple of years, they were shit, in my opinion. But Barcelona have always had...
they were bad when he was there.
Yeah, he was bad. The tail end of his tenure there, they were awful. But Barcelona have always had like a talisman player. You know, before Messi, it was Ronaldinho. You know, they've had people like Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, Rivaldo. You know, Romario.
Then it was Fat Ron. Then it was.
Yeah, they've had so many people.
Yeah, like Gary Lineker played for him and Overmars.
Maradona's played for them. You know, like they've had.
Who's to play?
Say again.
World-class players.
They've always had world-class players.
For Luis Figo.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but no, all right. I'm going to do it. Apart from Luis Suarez, name me a world-class player on that squad.
Luis Suarez doesn't play for Barcelona. He plays for Atletico Madrid.
Oh, so he moved on from that.
They got your old boy Memphis Depay.
Well, that really did that the 3-0. He was tossed for us. He'll be tossed for them.
Now, here's a result that makes me very happy. Very, very, very happy. And that is Juventus beating Chelsea 1-0. Now, right now, Chelsea, what pisses me off is that Chelsea fans are sniffing their own fucking assholes right now, thinking the sun fucking shines out of it as well. And I'm really getting vexed with Chelsea fans beyond fucking belief. So when I was watching the Don Robbie watch along on YouTube, and they had a couple of renowned Chelsea fans there, and watching them fucking, crying their beer, so to speak, because Juventus did the sucker punch. They basically scored 11 within 11 seconds of the second half. They scored a goal and then they shut up shop. Lukaku's form is starting to dip already, which is a bit worrying for Chelsea. But Chelsea lost this game, and I was extremely fucking happy. They've been winning too much, and I'm very happy they lost this fucking game. Are you happy with that result, mate? Bossman?
Yeah, as I said, well, the thing is, I agree with you with Chelsea fans. They have been sniffing their own farts a lot recently. Exactly. So Salzburg beat Lille. That's a bit of a shock.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Bayern beat. Who did they beat now? Sorry, they beat Dynamo Kiev.
Dynamo Kiev. Liverpool beat Porto 5-1, which was interesting. This was the shock of the tournament. Sheriff, a team from Moldova, they beat Real Madrid 2-1. I watched the highlights of that game. The goalkeeper was on fire in that match. He had the match of his fucking life. He was saving everything. The goal he conceded was from a penalty. So he basically in open play they couldn't beat him, and it was he basically kept Sharif in the game. Ajax beating Besiktas 2-0. Milan losing 1-0 to Atletico Madrid. PSG
They
beating
got
Lionel
some
Messi.
sent off.
Yep, PSG
Beat City. Yep.
beating City. Now this was
Which just told you, City fans, you need a striker.
now the funny thing is, like, people are waxing lyrical about Lionel Messi, and I still think, look, I want people to understand that
Yep.
I don't think Lionel Messi is shit. I just think Ronaldo's better. Yeah, and this season's kind of proven it, because Ronaldo, he has played for Man United before, but maybe apart from maybe De Gea, I'm not even sure if he did play with De Gea. No, I don't think he did. He hasn't played with any of those motherfuckers in that Man United team. So it's almost like another team he's joining. He's played for Sporting Lisbon. He's played for Man United with a whole different array of players. He then, he played with Real Madrid, Juventus, and he's playing with a different Man United team now, as well as Portugal as well, if you want to throw in a different team there. He's played with all these different teams, and he's always been banging in goals. Lionel Messi scored his first goal this season in the Man City game, and it was a good game for him to score a goal in. But today PSG played fucking Rennes, and they lost 2-0. So where the fuck was Lionel Messi for that game? But nevertheless, Man City got taken to school in this one. PSG 2-0. We mentioned Porto. Club Brugge beat RB Leipzig 2-1. Young boys.
Got beaten by Atlanta, which we needed after they beat us.
Yeah, Atlanta beat Young Boys 1-0. Zenit. That's a different Zenit. Yeah, Zenit St. Petersburg.
Zenit St. Petersburg destroyed Malmo, but they had someone sent off.
Yeah, they were down. There's a lot of red cards this week, by the way.
Well, not as much as last week. I think there was like 6 or something.
3 on 4 this week, which is still quite a lot. But yeah, some interesting results. And next week we have Besiktas versus Sporting Lisbon. Club Brugge.
PSG will have that.
Yeah, I'm expecting Man City to get a result here. Shakhtar Donetsk versus Real Madrid. The way Real Madrid's going, you don't know. But it's not like Real Madrid didn't have the opportunity to beat Sharif last week. They just didn't. And maybe this time around, the luck will go with them and they will beat Shakhtar Donetsk. But they are playing away from home. PSG versus RB Leipzig. Let's see what PSG turns up for that game. This is the match of the week so far. Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool. Luis Suarez plays against his old team. Inter Milan versus Sharif. Let's see how lucky Sharif are against these guys. But I don't think their luck will run out against Inter Milan. I really do. Ajax versus Dortmund. That's a decent match.
Yeah.
Porto versus Milan. Salzburg versus Wolfsburg. Barcelona versus Dynamo Kiev. I expect Barcelona to go back to winning ways in this game. Man United are playing Atalanta. What do you think? You need a win against these guys. They're playing at home as well, so you want nothing less than a win. Lille versus Sevilla. Yeah, that's going to be a good game in my opinion. Zenit versus Juventus. I expect Juventus to win that.
United. I hope United win, but I don't know. So we haven't been playing that consistently well all season.
Yeah, you haven't had enough wins this season, in my opinion. Too many draws. Benfica versus. I mean, the loss against Villa was a bad one, and you didn't beat Everton this week, but we'll get to that a bit later. But Benfica versus Bayern, that's a decent match, but I do expect Bayern to get the victory there. Chelsea versus Malmo, that game will be at home. I expect Chelsea to wipe the floor with them. Young Boys versus Villarreal. Even though Villarreal away from home, I think they might sneak a 1 or 2-0 victory. So that's for that. So let me just quickly change it now to the UEFA League. Oh, this was a bad result for Celtic, by the way. Losing 4-0 at home to Bayern Leverkusen. Now, Bayern Leverkusen are no fucking mugs. Because Arsenal are not in the Premier League, bandits. Actually, not Premier League. They might as well not be. Because Arsenal are not in the fucking in Europe. We're going to get to Arsenal a bit later, but regarding the Europa
West
League,
Ham beat right.
Rapid
Yeah,
Vienna,
West Ham beat Rapid. Was that
Vienna,
Rapid Vienna?
yeah,
Okay, that's a
and
decent result. Daniel Zagreb beat Genk 3-0. That's all right. Lazio beat Moscow
I'm just going
2-0.
to click this.
Marcel. Yeah, I
So
don't even know how to
Antwerp,
pronounce that one. I might even Christina Zivda. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
oh no, we'll go to Antwerp versus Iron Frankfurt. That's a good result for Frankfurt. Antwerp's a decent Belgian team, but this is a bit of a shocker here. Leicester's having a
Warsaw would
terrible
beat
season, by the way.
Leicester City 3-0.
But Leicester losing 1-0 to Liga Warsaw. Yeah, they are the better team, regardless of playing away from home.
Yeah,
That was a terrible result for
I mean,
them. Sparta Prague beating
that could be
Rangers. Not a
another
good day for the Scottish teams. And look at this. Both teams had a red card, Napoli and Spartak Moscow. But Napoli lost to Napoli is a decent Italian team. You know, they've been in the top four for a while now, Napoli. And to lose 3-2 to Spartak Moscow at home, that's a shocker. That's a real shocker.
Yeah.
PSV beating.
They both had someone sent off.
They both had someone sent off, but still it's a shocker. PSV beating SK Sturm Graz 4-1 away from home. Good result for them. Lyon beating Brøndby 3-0. Seems about right. Yeah, they had someone sent off as well. Yeah, it's a very good result for them. Olympiacos beating Fenerbahce. Yeah, the Greeks and the Turks are not...
and Real Sociedad.
Yeah, but then I just think go to this game, Greeks and Turks, they're not the biggest fans of each other. So this was a great result for Olympiacos being away from home.
So basically, the battle of Cyprus, basically.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, Real Sociedad.
Sorry, Paddy, by the way.
Yeah, Real Madrid versus Real Sociedad versus Monaco 1-1. Real Betis beating I cannot say this team's name. Want to give it a shot?
Ferencváros. I don't know.
That's pretty good in my opinion. This looks like a Danish team, I think. The one with got sent off.
I don't even pronounce that.
Ludogorets versus this team here. The other team 1-1 win-0. This is a shame, really. Marseille versus Galatasaray. That's a juicy match on paper, and that's a 0-0. I mean, end up being a fucking shitty ball.
But some people else would be interested. I mean, I just don't think that will be one of them. Lazio beat Lokomotiv 2-0.
Seems about right.
Zagreb beat Genk 3-0.
Dynamo, yeah, that's a good result for them being away from home. Genk losing a man, and as we mentioned, West Ham beating Rapid Vienna 2-0, but Celtic losing 4-0 away at home. I mean, honestly, Scottish football's a fucking joke. Their international team is a fucking joke, and their club teams are fucking jokes. Only in their own countries do they fucking wax lyrical. In their own country, they fucking wax lyrical about their clubs being amazing and all that. But in reality, they're fucking bollocks. And this fucking proves it. They should not be getting destroyed 4-0 at home by Bayern Leverkusen. It goes to show how better, obviously, the German league is and how terrible the Scottish league is. So we're going to move on from that. Let's have a quick look at the tables, by the way. Should have had a look at that on the Champions League, but it doesn't matter.
Clearly PSV leading that.
Wow, Napoli and Leicester at the bottom of Group C. Who would have thought of that? That is really shocking to see. The Polish and the Russian team at the top, and Napoli and Leicester at the bottom. Couldn't see that coming. This is a very tough group, by the way. Olympiacos, Eintracht Frankfurt, Fenerbahce, and Antwerp. Very tough group. And Olympiacos, 2 out of 2 so far. This is also a decent group as well. Galatasaray, Lazio, Marseille, Lokomotiv Moscow. Still all to play for in this group, but Galatasaray seems to be doing all right so far. No losses. Wow, this team I can't pronounce, top of their group, but this is a very much, you have groups of death, or this is probably the group of life right here. Leverkusen, not surprised. Real Betis, not surprised. But I like seeing Celtic at the bottom there. Fuck Celtic. Fuck Rangers as well. West Ham, top of their group. Very happy for them. Very happy for them. I really want West Ham to do well in this group. So yeah. So we're going to quickly just, unfortunately, just for the sake of argument, we're going to quickly look at the Conference League as well. So let me just quickly pull that up. And here we go. Let me just get all the whole thingy down. So these are like the bottom of the barrel teams. Surprised to see Roma in there, but Roma, in my opinion, will be one of the favorites for the Conference League. No doubt about it. 3-0 there. Tel Aviv versus Lask 1-1. HJK versus this team 4-2. Randers, I don't know who the fuck they are, versus Club Cluj. I think Cluj has been in the Champions League on the other occasion. So whoever Randers are, that was a good result for them. AZ Alkmaar 1-0. Partizan, is that Partizan Moscow? Maybe.
Could be.
You got Ghent. I think that's a Belgium team. 2-0.
I think the Belgium, I think. Yeah, Luxembourg or Belgium or something like that, I think.
Tottenham 5.
Copenhagen 3-1.
Yeah, Copenhagen 3-1, yeah. Carrier bag. They've been in the Champions League a few times. I think this is an Austrian team, Vitesse Vienna.
No, they're Dutch.
They're Dutch. Oh, my bad. Yeah. Versus Rennes, and Rennes, they got a 2-0 victory against PSG today, or yesterday, and to beat this team with a red card in hand. Good result for them away from home as well. Union Berlin 3-0. This is a Portuguese team, PAOK, I think, versus Slovan Bratislava 1-1. Basel, I remember them. They've always been around in the Champions League, but not this time round. 4-2, and Feyenoord versus Slavia Para 2-1. So it looks to me that it's definitely going to be between Roma and Tottenham for this cup. I really can't. Maybe Feyenoord could be in there, possibly Basel, but maybe even Copenhagen. But all these other teams, by the way, they look shit. So let's have a quick look at the groups here. So
Aviv, 4 points.
Yeah.
Partizan Moscow, 4 points.
This team here, this team at the bottom has got no chance in hell. Partizan, they got 6 and 6 with Ghent. These two teams are pretty much done by the looks of things. Roma flying high with 6 points. They should be very happy with that. AZ Alkmaar with 4 points. They seem to be the best team of the lot here. Feyenoord with 4. Copenhagen with 6. Tottenham with 4 points. I mean, that result against Mura would be very good for them. So I'm sure they're going to be flying. I think they'll get out of this group, in my opinion. Carrierbag with 4 points as well. I mean, even though they've got a funny name, nevertheless, they tend to be in the Champions League quite often. So I'm not surprised they're doing so well in this. All right, thank God for that. That's over. I hate talking about that bloody tournament. Fucking Shies Union. Shies Union. This is my mate, Photo Sportive. Yes, he supports Preston North End because somebody has to. All right. Let's get into the Premier League.
Let's do it.
All right. So, did you watch the Liverpool versus Manchester City match earlier today?
Very good.
Bossman? Did you watch that match, though?
Nope.
It was a decent game. I honestly thought this was going to be a shit match. But I'll say this about Liverpool. When Liverpool play against the big teams, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, they tend to give good matches against big teams. And Liverpool didn't disappoint with this match. 2-2. Liverpool were ahead on both occasions. Man City clawed it back. And the goals in this game were sublime. Good goals in this game, a good match. Not surprised that the points were shared. To tell you the truth, it was a good game. But the game next to that, Crystal Palace versus Leicester City. Leicester City were 2-0 up. They were 2-0 up, mate. 2-0 up. And Leicester City again are having a terrible season by their point of view. They blew it. And Crystal Palace came back. And it's a good result for Palace. They need to scrap results like that. And a 2-2 against Leicester City is nothing to be ashamed of.
Continue in their good form by beating a pretty up their team in West Ham.
Well, Brentford, yeah. I mean, this was the battle of East versus West London right here. Brentford versus West Ham. And
that's a really good result. Brentford
really
fans, you should be really excited about this season, guys. I reckon you could be the chase for like top six at least.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes because like
Tottenham had good results against Villa. Considering
I saw the highlights of that game. I'm really pissed off about it.
Arsenal no against Brighton.
Yeah,
I don't think you should be too disheartened by that because Brighton are a decent side.
I'm disheartened by our performance because we're supposed to be going somewhere as a football team. Yeah, we really are. We're supposed to be fucking. After beating Spurs, we should have been going somewhere. But it kind of made me realize, and actually, I kind of realized this because a lot of Arsenal fans they can be up their own arses and they get so fucking deluded that sometimes it wasn't really how well we played. It was how shit Tottenham were, and Tottenham were really shit against us. That's why we were able to bang in 3 goals in the first half. And I'm not surprised that when it came to playing a team like Brighton, who are in the top half of the league and flying high at the moment with only 1 loss this season, loads of wins as well. I'm not surprised that we ended up scraping a 0-0. I'm very disappointed though because some of our big players like Thomas Partey, like people wax lyrical at Arsenal about Thomas Partey, but I think Thomas Partey has had more shit games than good games for Arsenal. I think Kieran Tierney has had more shit games than good games for Arsenal. Yet these people are fucking looked upon as the fucking messiahs at Arsenal, and I get really pissed off about that. Tomiyasu, that was his first bad game for Arsenal, in my opinion. And same with Sambi Lokonga, also his first bad game for Arsenal. The highlights, that the best players for Arsenal in that game were the goalkeeper and the 2 centre-backs. They were very good. Everyone else was pretty shit. Smith Rowe was not bad, but disappointed with Aubameyang again, who, in my opinion, blows more cold than hot. I'm pissed off with Saka. He was good against Spurs, but that's been the only good game he's been good at.
I think he's very, very raw and young. So I think that you just have to vibe.
Yeah, I guess. But then, with our manager, like Martinelli, when the hell is he going to start playing? When the hell is he going to start playing fucking Martinelli? Because he's dead to be used, and we don't use him. And it pisses me off because there's a talent there. Under Unai Emery, a lot of these players played better under Unai Emery, the ones who like Kieran Tierney and so on, than they have played under Mikel Arteta. And that's what disturbs me a lot. Well, Leeds finally got a victory against Watford.
Yep.
And I'm sure they're very happy about that. Now, I saw this game on the telly, Man United versus Everton. And I remember when Everton fucking equalised.
Leeds beating Watford.
Yeah, I just mentioned that. That was their first win. I just want to talk to you about this one, boss man. Man United versus Everton. Yeah. Now, this is like where you can understand. This is where people are talking about Ole Solskjaer as a manager, because you've got great players now at your club. Yeah, you've got great players in almost every department. Yes, you don't have a world-class defensive midfielder, but regardless, you got fucking Cristiano Ronaldo, and yet somehow you're still not getting the victories, mate. You got Edison Cavani, you got Paul Pogba, you've got all these great players. And you're not winning games. You're not winning games in the league, and this is really going to hurt Ole Solskjaer as a manager because you should be winning these games and you're not. What do you think? You think he's going to last the season? Do you think he's going to get sacked?
No, he's not going to start because the thing is that he's on the top five, three or four finish. Last season he was in charge. He's won some trophies. I don't know. As I said, like it's not his fault. It's whoever's trying to tell it. The thing is, what we do is we take the Manchester City approach, for Manchester City approach, which is a guy's got a name, we sign him, rather than he actually contributes to our team and winning.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a disservice to Man City. I think Man City.
No, I'm talking City. I'm talking City before, like under like Matt Hughes or like under like imagine that when we didn't sign any old fucker who could kick a football. That's what they did.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Chelsea got back to winning ways, and they won 3-1 against Southampton. Timo Werner scored. Yeah. Wolves beat Newcastle 2-1. I mean, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if Steve Bruce is still manager by the end of the year.
Norwich and Burnley.
No. This is the 6-pointer here. I'm not surprised this game ended up being a 0-0. It had scoreboard personified.
I thought Burnley would end it, considering how bad Norwich have been. They've been historically bad.
Burnley been just as bad, and I've said this before last week regarding Sean Dyche. Like he needs to leave this club. Burnley needs a second. The worst thing they did was renewing his contract for 4 more fucking years before the season kicked off. It looks now like a very bad decision. Burnley needs freshening up. Yes, Dyche is a safe pair of hands, but not this season. And I think Burnley, like Norwich, are already relegated. Leeds finally got a win. Finally. 1-0 against Watford. And the Watford manager was sacked, by the way. I'm not sure if you knew about that.
Yeah, I know about that. To Watford have been through managers more times than I've been through clothing. I did wonder why they always get relegated. It's because you don't stick with the manager. Elton, if you watch it, stop it.
Now, I'm very sorry, Bandits. There will be no Spider-Man because I'm very tired. And I will get to Spider-Man soon enough for no budget productions. But I'm currently watching Squid Games. And anybody who's got Netflix, watch Squid Games. It's very good. It's very, very good.
So we've been through most of these, like Brighton, West Ham gets Brentford.
Tottenham beat Villa 2-1. Yeah, Brentford. We went through all.
So
of
I
this.
think we've been through all the results now. Let's look at the table.
So next week, this is what we got next week.
Liverpool are going to catch Watford. No, Chelsea. Southampton are going to beat Leeds. That's Brighton's going to hammer Norwich City. That's just not.
I agree with that. This is a derby here, Villa versus Wolves.
I think Villa will have that. Us against City, I reckon we'll win that, even though we haven't really been that great. Man City will batter Burnley. If they
this is what you know. What we need a shock in the weekend. Oh no! You know what? I want this to be the shock. Actually, Brentford versus Chelsea. This is a bit of a derby match as well. A bit of a West London derby going on here. Yeah, I think Man City will beat Burnley. So let's move on from that. But Brentford, in my opinion, versus Chelsea, this will be a tough test for Chelsea. But Brentford will be salivating at playing Chelsea.
What are you going to bet? Are you going to bet that Brentford catches Chelsea?
How about a 1-1? A 1-1.
Okay, Everton against West Ham. I give that to Everton. Personally.
It's a tough one as well. I think that'll be another draw, in my opinion.
Newcastle Tottenham. If Tottenham do not win that, they're in fucking real trouble. Because
I think Tottenham are terrible. Yeah, I'm no fan, obviously, but I can see Tottenham winning that. And then the Monday night football. And this is where I have no problem with a Monday night game for Arsenal because it's against Palace. It's in London. Yeah, it's a London derby and all of that. But like sometimes Arsenal get on so many occasions on a Monday night, Arsenal are playing away from home to fucking Manchester United or Manchester fucking City, possibly Liverpool as well. I'm thinking to myself, why are we playing these teams on a Monday night away from home? You know, like do the people who make these schedules have any idea what the fuck they're doing? Yeah, but this match on a Monday night, perfect. North London versus South London. We have a London Underground. It will be no problem for Arsenal play or for Palace players to travel to this game. If it was the other way around, I wouldn't have an issue too much either. It's at 8 o'clock, so it's a decent time. It gives fans at least 2 to 3 hours to get to this game before kickoff after work. So I'm expecting Arsenal to win this game. I'm expecting Arsenal to win this game.
Let's look at the table. Let's see where everyone is. Right. So
Not
Chelsea's
surprised.
leading the way. Liverpool's one point behind. City's 2 points behind them.
It's amazing. People giving Man United a lot of shit, but Man United are still there with the big boys. They're 2 points behind Chelsea. That they're still up there, and with the same games played and everything. So regardless of them not doing so well, they're still there.
Well, look at Brentford and Brentford. They're flaming.
Everton and Brentford. Everton and Brighton, sorry. They're also on the same points as Man City and Man United.
Brentford are doing really well for themselves.
Yeah, but it's a bit disappointing because Brentford, like Tottenham gets that win against Aston Villa, and they've already catapulted above us, and now they're 8th in the league, and they're 2 points behind, Man United, Everton, and all that. And Arsenal are now 4 points behind those boys. But nevertheless, it's not so bad. As we progress further down, I mean, just to see Leicester there in 13th position is shocking. It's absolutely shocking, to tell you the truth.
Well, that's the reason that Watford got rid of them by the 15th, which is not too far into the.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I'll be very surprised if Watford don't bring Big Sam in.
You think? Yeah. I don't know. I think Big Sam retired. Just like he's not. I thought Big Sam just retired. I didn't know he was still into football. I thought he's on the golf course now.
Could be. I don't know. But look at Norwich City. Fucking hell!
That draw was the first point. So they finally broke their duck.
1 point out of seven matches played due to you're in real trouble.
I think we've seen the free team. I mean, look, people forget how shit Newcastle have been. They've been getting a few draws to cover their backs, but they've been absolutely atrocious. And Burnley are just as bad. And I think we're looking at the three teams that are going to go down. Ralph Hootenhuizen, he hasn't won the last 2 games, but he's a decent manager. That win for Leeds has kind of helped them boost a little bit. But I think the 3 teams we already see at the bottom are probably the 3 teams that will be going down. Norwich are definitely down. They're relegated. They just don't even know it yet. So
they
definitely go down.
7. If they get to 10 games and they've not won, they're going down. There's no argument about it. They've got 3 games to win a game. And I think that, as I said, I predicted that they'll get lower than Sunderland's all-time lowest scores title, which was something like 11 points, or whatever it was. They'll get lower than that if they're not careful.
Yeah. I mean, look at Tottenham. I mean, they're a minus goal difference here of 4. I mean, I'm surprised to see West Ham so low. But then again, that loss against Brentford didn't help. Kind of mid-table-ish right now. They were flying initially, but they've only got 1 win in the last 5 games. So it hasn't been looking too good for them. They got 2 wins before that. But still, nevertheless, they're down to 9th now. It's a very up and down. It's a very all over the place, but it's normal service is resuming here at the top. Chelsea seem to be running away with it a little bit. Not running away with it, but they seem to be stabilizing. Like they had their blip by losing to Manchester City last week. But regardless of that blip, it hasn't, and obviously they lost to Malmo, Juventus as well in the Champions League. That's a different tournament. But regardless of that, they've made sure that they've come back and, they didn't have a banana skin with Southampton. They beat them. And it's normal service resumed. They'll be playing Malmo next week. I expect them to fucking destroy them. So, yeah. So that's this week in football. How are you feeling about your team at the moment, Bossman?
They're not good enough. I know that they're 4th, and you should say, we should be happy with 4th. But the thing is that if the performances were good and they just weren't getting the results, I could live with that. If you know what I mean. It's like with you and Arsenal. If Arsenal were playing good, just that you couldn't score for life of you. I think you could live with it if that makes sense. You could live with it. If the rest of United were playing well, they just weren't getting the look of the green with the goals. I could live with it, but we just don't seem to give enough effort in winning games. The thing is, we had Everton beat yesterday, and the thing is, we brought up Ronaldo. He didn't do much. Sancho, I want to say he's a young kid. He'll grow into playing for United. My dad isn't a big fan of his, but I'm a big fan because I think he's a young kid and he'll grow into it. I think he's got some of the talent. It's just that I just think that he's missing the final ball at the moment, and I think that's what we need.
Yeah, I mean, Sancho's start to his life at Old Trafford hasn't been the best. That's for sure. But I don't doubt this kid. I've seen what he's able to do for Dortmund. I've seen what he's able to do for England, and he's been very, very good. And I'm sure he'll come strong for you guys. I think I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'll be shocked if he doesn't. He's just too good of a player not to. He's got too much talent. I think playing him on the left is a mistake. I don't think sometimes you can be you can be a right-footed winger and like to play on the left and invert, a left-footed winger who likes to play on the right and invert. But I think he's a bit old-fashioned, where he's a right-footed winger who likes to play on the right and get crosses in. Cuts doesn't necessarily cut in too much, or if he does cut in, it cuts in on the outside and not necessarily on the inside. So that's how I look at Jadon Sancho. I don't think he belongs on the left wing. I really don't think you're doing him any favors playing him on the left wing. He needs to play on the right wing. But I'll tell you what, you need to get rid of Wan-Bissaka. He is fucking useless for you guys, man. He's not good enough, in my opinion. I think he's one of the weakest links in your team. When I look at Wan-Bissaka, I think to myself, how the fuck from Crystal Palace did he make it up to goddamn Manchester United? You're shit. You're absolutely shit, and he makes people like Lindelof look fucking world class. He's that fucking shit. I don't know how you feel about Wan-Bissaka.
He tries hard. That's what I'm going to give him. But I don't know. Again, the thing is, people say he's good, so I see that he is good to a degree, and that's just what I want. So yeah.
Fair enough. Now, regarding Arsenal, by the way, I should actually pull up what's happening next week, because next week is not actually Premier League teams playing. It's internationals. So let me just quickly pull up on the England team. England football fixtures. And let's just pull that up, because I totally forgot that the national team was playing. It is the international break now.
Let's see what team from Flaming Azerbaijan or something they're playing.
So it looks. Ooh, come on, girl. All right, so it looks like the first match we're playing is against Andorra. So I expect us, and this is our group, by the way, I expect us to get a victory.
Drew 1-1.
Yeah, we drew against Poland. We were winning 1-0. Albania is second in the group. Well done, Albania, by the way. To be second in this group, little fucking tiny ass Albania. Out of all these fucking teams, there's a couple of powerhouses, European powerhouses there in Poland and Hungary, and to be second, above those teams is pretty good. So, but I do, regardless of that, we are playing Andorra, and I expect England to get the result. That will be
the most them, and then they play Hungary,
and Andorra's away from home, by the way. But regardless, it doesn't matter. we should get the result.
By the way, Hungarian fans, if you do the racist shit here, we'll hit your ass. So I just had to get that out of the way.
Well, let's just hope, because unfortunately, boss man, some of our fans are not that great either.
Just as bad as well, yeah. No, I thought about that just as I was saying that.
Hungry fans are majority dickheads. We have like a large portion of dickheads. I don't know if it's majority or not, but like when we do the knee, there's a whole bunch of fucking fans that boo that shit.
The ones who go and destroy all the buildings that we have, yeah, and then they go, the people in this country, get disrespected.
Let's just be honest, boss man. Like, these guys are just pure racist fucks, and the fact that they say that the Black Lives Matter and the knee is Marxist. It's just them, hiding and disguising their racism because they just can't help themselves, and they think they're being smart by calling it Marxist. When so many times people have mentioned that it's a discrimination.
Well, I've asked people this loads of times. What evidence do you have it's Marxist? Well, you see, in the 1800s. Wait! It's 2021. What's this have to do with the 1800s? Well, somebody who was a Marxist wrote. I said so. Somebody who was a Marxist, so not Marxist now. Again, the person who started this wasn't a Marxist. The person who initiated this wasn't a Marxist. He was Colin Kaepernick. He was literally a football player who was not a Marxist. He's a black man who was fighting against oppression in the country he lived in. He was literally sitting down, and the reason he took the knee is because a guy who was an ex-NFL player, but also was a military vet, said, he asked him, like, what can I do? He said, you'll never say it, but he said, for me, what we do is take the knee as a sign, prayer to God, or as a sign for a fallen soldier, stuff like that. We take it as a sign of respect. So you could do that, and that's why he started taking the knee. So for all you who say Marxist, you're a bloody idiot. There you go.
I personally, I'm, being this sort of secular guy that I am, I find all this flag worshipping, all this anthem worshipping to be absolutely stupid. And when it comes to, certain demographics who love all that shit anyway, who like to fucking salute for the flag and the fucking anthem and stuff, their opinion changes on a fucking penny when it suits their fucking narrative. They tell black people, yeah, we want you to protest, but protest peacefully. So they take the fucking knee and they still have a problem with that. So fuck them, and I hope, that, cameras are on anyone who boos, anyone who makes a monkey chant, anyone who throws a banana, or any of those motherfuckers, because fuck them. And we've already beaten the Hungarians.
It's processed in the way that we designate is right. Yeah, that's not how process works, dude.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I, like, as a Christian fellow, I'll go into this again. I'm okay with it, and I'll tell you why. Anything that gets people to take seriously the plight of minorities in this country is a good thing. And if it makes you uncomfortable, fine. That's what we have to pay for the fact that black people in this country and people of other minorities are the highest who will face discrimination from the police. We'll get stopped and searched the most. We'll get flaming criminal. We'll get profiled and all that shit. So, and the thing is that what happened over the summer proves why we need that. That 3 black people got told that they should have shut up and play. That if it weren't taking the knee, and they didn't care about social situations, that we wouldn't have been dependent. So all that crap proves why this is important. Sorry, run over.
I agree. I also have arguments with people who tell me, look, I don't mind them protesting, but not during my entertainment time. I'm telling them, listen, when it comes to getting an important message out, then it should happen at times when people are watching.
Is it convenient?
And I'm thinking to myself, if you are yourself not a bigot, then you shouldn't have a problem with people bringing out anti-discrimination messages. So why do you have an issue with it in the first place?
Well, the thing for me is, like, it's designed to make you uncomfortable. It's designed to provoke you. Because, again, they're getting provoked every day with what's happening to them. And you see, the thing is that I've never faced racism. I'm a white guy. I've never faced it. I faced prejudice of other kinds, but I've never faced being a white guy. And the thing is that I've never in my adult life, see people differently just because they happen to have a different colour skin to me. Maybe it's just the fact that I grew up in a very multi-ethnic part of the city, and I'm one of the guys I went to disabled camp was a black guy.
You've travelled as well. You've been abroad, haven't you?
And I always try to treat people. And the thing is, I always try and listen. Yeah, I've been abroad. Yeah, I've been to America and I've been to other places. And the thing is that I treat people with respect that I want to be treated myself. The thing is, I've spoken to people black, white, pink, green. It doesn't matter to me because the thing is, human beings are a human being. A good human being is good whether it's black, white, pink, green. Same with a bad human being. And that's what I don't get. It's like why are we homogenizing it all? Anyway, if you're pissed off, I boo your football team. You need to get a brain, pal. The thing is, they should take the knee because they're doing it out on the fact that it's about respect. That they want black people to be treated with the same respect as white people do. That's all they're asking. They're not asking for more.
They're putting the spotlight on racism. And the funny thing is, they're putting a spotlight on racism. And when people have an issue with that, you know who the fucking racists are, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm loving this.
Well, I wouldn't agree with that per se. I think there are some people who just don't like it in their football. I mean, they don't mind the message per se. They just don't like it in the football. Which all I have to say to them is,
but honestly,
the reason you think football is because you're watching it.
Yeah, but those people tend to be. They don't tend to be. Look, I'll say how it is. They tend to be white people, And why do these white people have an issue with it? Because genuinely, they don't fucking care. They might not necessarily be super fucking racist themselves, but they have enough discrimination in their system, in their DNA to have an issue with other people, putting the spotlight on it. Like, how dare they, spoil my entertainment with a message of anti-discrimination? Well, fuck you, mate. You know what I mean? Yeah, fuck you. As far as I'm concerned, you're discriminating when you have an issue with it. Because we're talking about anti-discrimination. When it comes to putting a spotlight on anything, where minorities are getting fucked, people shouldn't have an issue with that unless they are bigots themselves. That's how I see it. I would have no issue. Sorry, boss man. Like for instance, Harry Kane was wearing the fucking rainbow armband. I had no issue with that at all because I'm not homophobic. The Allianz Arena during the Euros wanted to have the rainbow colors against the Hungarians. UEFA put a stop to that because they are fucking bigots. Yeah. So and I'm not surprised. UEFA have always been bigots because when it comes to racism, they never do anything to stop it. They give paltry fines. But then when fucking back in the day, I think 2012, when Lord Nicholas Bentner revealed his underwear after scoring a goal showing Paddy Power, UEFA had a massive issue with that and fined him a humongous fucking fine simply because they were losing money from advertising revenue. They weren't getting because Bentner was revealing it on his fucking underwear. So I know where UEFA stand, and I can see things for what they are. I really, as somebody who's experienced racism, boss man, you can see the wood through the trees, and
No. I get you, but I try not to be very generalistic like that because, again, people can have the different points of view, and I understand. You go to football to get away from the real shit that you have to deal with. I get that, but understand that, for people who are doing the sport, this is the only voice they get is when they're on the pitch because you're forced to watch because you're there at the stadium or you're there on the television or you do whatever. That's the only time that you'll listen. Because
we get away from it, boss man. We try to get away from all of this, boss man. But the fans are still, even when they're not being racist, they're still being, terrible human beings, calling people fucking cunts. We saw the Hungarians throwing their drinks at the English players after we scored our second goal.
Sorry, Sam, but it wasn't that long. I mean, we told them, well, does it happen here? Well, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, I can't remember the player who got monkey chants at him at some flaming some ground.
So many players.
We're not talking about some conference. Yeah, I mean, again, we're not talking about some 20 years ago. We're talking about 5 years ago in living memory.
Chelsea players are renowned for that.
A black player got, and it's just like, really, we go back to the 70s again. I'm like, to be honest, like, all he's doing is kicking a football down. What the fuck is he doing to insult you? And I just don't get it. And the thing is, it's like, if people taking the knee is bringing attention to that issue, and causing less racists to watch the, because again, I know what it's, as I said, I know what it's like to be prejudiced against, but I don't know what it's like to be racially profiled or to be treated differently.
Oh, I know.
Just because of something I can't control, which is that.
I know what it's like to be profiled.
And again, I know what people who are.
I remember having one particular boss who had an issue.
I know you do, Zam. That's why I always kowtow to you on this subject.
Well, I remember like this one guy I used to work with. His name was Ben, and this guy Ben, he was my boss, and he had an issue with me how I would do certain things, and then I would see him do certain things himself just as bad, like. And I was thinking to myself, mate, you're doing it yourself, but he seemed to get away with it, and. I put it down to the fact that he was white and I wasn't, because I think to myself, why am I not getting away with it? I mean, I'm basically following my boss's lead. Yeah, he seems to be getting away with it. What the fuck is going on here? And I just put it down to racism at the end of the day, because I can't think of anything else. But that's I mean, when I say racism, it's more like discrimination. Like, people look past him because he's white, but he won't look past me because I'm brown, and that's how I look at it, and you see these things and it just pisses you off so fucking much. But anyway, that was a long time ago, and we're a lot better for it, in my opinion. Anyway, mate, I think we've been speaking about all of this shit. We've been getting a bit SJW.
No. I mean, again, the thing is, Sam, and I'm going to say this now, is the more you speak on this sort of issue, especially when we talk about this sport, the more it gets, light upon what these people are protesting about. That you have to suffer for that. Because at the end of the day, right, people looking on here, because there's a difference between my skin color and yours, yet we have a lot in common. We like nerdy shit. We
have so much in fucking common. It's crazy.
I mean,
that's why we work together all the time.
We have things that we disagree about. Like, you're an atheist, I'm a Christian. Yeah, exactly. You're an atheist, I'm a Christian. I'm a socialist. I don't think you are. The things
you're a socialist.
Agree to disagree about those things.
I'm a socialist.
I still get along quite well because we can. And the thing is, I don't judge you differently because you're a person of a different ethnicity to me. At the end of the day, you're my friend. I couldn't give you green, purple, polka dot. It didn't matter to me. But for some people, they can't see beyond that, and I just don't get it. But hey,
I remember I met you, dude. I met you in the 2010 Atheist YouTube meetup in London, 11 fucking years ago. So we've known each other on and off for a long time. And but regardless of that, I work with Jason. He's a fucking Christian. He's a fucking American, and he does his Americanisms at me, and it really pisses me off. But we have so much in fucking common. I had a dose of his Americana the other day, and I was thinking to myself, mate, you're being so fucking American. Like, shut the fuck up. I wanted to tell him that, but it would have just come across very rude, because I don't think he would have understood where I was coming from. But it's that American stupidity that I see a lot of Americans do, and he was doing it on that particular occasion, and he'd been very, we're arguing over semantics and stuff like that. When I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck, but nevertheless, I still love the guy. He's still my friend. We work together all the fucking time. We work with Shredder. He's Scottish. With wrestling and nerdy stuff, and you guys argue all the fucking time. We work with fucking Penny now and again as well, and D Jose. We work with all these different guys and girls, Leia the other day. And we've been working with them for a long time. And long may that fucking continue, because our diversity is what makes us strong, if you know what I mean. So that's the good thing about all of us. We're a very diverse bunch, if you think about it. Myself, you, Jose, Jason, Penny, all of us, Leia, and there's guys and girls, Christine Black now and again, Shredder being Scottish and all of that. We're a very mixed bunch of people from all over the world. Different ethnicities, different religions or non-religions. I love it. And I wouldn't want that to change for anything. But we're kind of going off topic here, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize, but at least you get to know who we are at NerdTube. We are so many different people with so many different ideologies, yet we all have a very unified. We're very unified in what we like at the same time. So I guess we'll be seeing you next week after the England games, boss man.
Yep, definitely will.
There won't be much to talk about because next Sunday. The England games, there'll be one England game on Saturday and one England game on Tuesday. Not this Tuesday, coming up the following Tuesday. So I guess we'll have to speak about some of the internationals that have happened over the course of the week next Sunday. I don't think there'll be much more to talk about. But the following week, when we do This Week in Football, we'll have a few more internationals to talk about, as well as the Premier League. So I can't wait for that. But until then, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube. We are the greatest YouTube channel you never fucking heard of. We've got stuff coming out all the time. Our YouTube channel is a smorgasbord of different stuff, from reviews to debates and everything in between, reactions, you name it, we fucking got it. So subscribe to us. You'll be very happy and you should be pleasantly surprised in what we have to offer. Anything more to say, Gary, before we sign off?
No, just go. If you go to the England games, don't boo them. There you go. That's all I've got to say.
I will agree with you there 100%. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. We'll see you cunts later. Bye-bye.